Hi guys, welcome to today's video. I'm doing a one brand makeup tutorial with Ofra Cosmetics. This brand is based in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and the first time I heard about them, I was in beauty school. I feel like Ofra is very underrated here in the YouTube world, and they do create great quality products. I'll show you. The first product I'm using is this concealer Magic Roulette. The shade I'm using is the peachy shade closest to my skin tone, and I'm applying it to my under eye area. I'm having a little breakout, so still using the Magic Roulette. I'm using the green concealer to cancel out the redness on my spots. I'm using an e.l.f. brush for the concealer application and a beauty blender to blend it onto my skin. To set the concealers, I'm using the translucent powder in the shade Light. The brush I'm using is an e.l.f. blush brush. I really like this brush to set my concealers. For foundation, I'm using this oil-free dual wet dry foundation palette. The shade I'm using is the lightest shade. And the brush I'm using is an RC Cosmetics flat kabuki brush. By the way, most of the products I'll be using today are from the Ofra exclusive clear case package. To bronze my face, I'm using the darkest shade on this foundation palette. The brush I'm using is my favorite fluffy no-name brush. I always use this brush to bronze. And this case does have a bronzer, but I prefer matte bronzers. So this is why I'm using the foundation instead of the bronzer that comes with the package. To contour a bit, I'm using the Trio foundation on my Lorac contour brush. And now for the highlights, I'm using the banana powder on the e.l.f. blush brush. The blush I'm using today, it's obviously an Ofra product. This one is called Paradise Pink, and I'm using a BH Cosmetics dual fiber brush. For my highlight today, I'm using the Derma Mineral Powder in Pink Sapphire on my Luxie Contour 512 brush. We are now done with the face, so let's move on to the eyes. To prime my lids, I'm using this concealer from the Magic Roulette, and to set it, I'm using the translucent powder. Now for the eyeshadows, this is the little collection I have so far. None of these eyeshadow pans have names, so I did my best to get you a name, but I can't say 100% sure that they are the correct name shade, so don't quote me on it. All right, the first shade I'm using is this matte rusty brown shade, which looks similar to the one they call Truffle. I'm placing this shade on my upper crease as my transition shade with my Sigma E40 brush. The next shade is this reddish clay shade, similar to the one they call Essential. I'm using the Ofra number 21 blending brush, and I'm placing it into my crease for some definition. This shade is a little silky. I wouldn't say it's shimmery, it's just silky. I normally don't use anything that's not matte in my crease, but you know, hey, sometimes you just gotta break your own rules. Here I'm just blending the shade so I don't end up with any harsh lines. I'm using the Sigma E40 with no extra product. On my lid, I'm using this gorgeous pink champagne shimmer shade, similar to the one they call Dupe That, You Do You. The brush is the Ofra number 11 brush. Guys, this shade is so beautiful and has a lot of pigment, but I'm going to be super extra and spray the eyeshadow for a metallic look. Oh my god, this shade really is beautiful. Pack that on, girl. Pack that on. Here I'm going back to the 21 brush to blend the crease. Okay, so I want to deepen my outer V. I'm using this matte brown shade, similar to the one they call French Mocha. I'm slowly and carefully placing it using a Makeup Geek outer V brush, and I'm blending the edges out with the number 21 Ofra brush. I can honestly say that the shades I've used so far are very pigmented and easy to blend. You do have to be very gentle with them because they do have a powder kickback, but most pigmented shadows do. Okay, so for a brow lift, I'm using this matte creamy shade similar to the one they call Buttercup on a Ofra number 03 brush. And here I just went back to that Sigma E40 to blend the shades. On my lower lash line, I'm going in with the reddish clay shade Essential with the Ofra number 31 brush. Again, you guys, don't quote me on these names because I am not 100% sure that these are the names. I'm just going by the closest name shades I found on their site. Alright, so I'm also adding a little bit of the French Mocha shade with the same brush, the number 31 brush. And to buff the shades out, I'm using the matte rusty brown shade, Truffle, on a Makeup Geek pointed crease brush. To highlight my inner corner, I'm using the Derma Mineral Powder in Pink Sapphire. And this is the Sigma E30 pencil brush. To complete the eyes, I'm using an Ofra eyeliner pencil in black. I'm also using the NYC liquid eyeliner in black and the Ofra HD volumizing mascara. For the lips, I'm using an Ofra long-lasting liquid lipstick in Pasadena. So completing the look with some falsies. These, I don't have a name or a number for them. I'm sorry. I got them at Agassi and I threw out the little package they came in. I just wanted to try them out and I do like them, so sucks that I don't have a number for you. Here is a close-up of my face with all the products I just mentioned. I do like the brand very much. If you guys have tried this brand, let me know how you feel about it. And just an FYI, I was not asked to make this tutorial. Ofra doesn't even know I exist. I personally chose this brand to share because I honestly do like their products. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Keep up with me on my other social media. Watch my previous videos. Leave me comments so we can be friends. I do read them. Until next time, you guys, hugs and kisses. Bye.